Kingdom people, they thought that you wouldn't be able to make it without them. So there I was minding my own business, and God just dropped that on me and started showing me different people and situations. And so, kingdom people, listen, there are people that you left behind who thought you needed them. And maybe at one point you did have some kind of a relationship with them where you depended on them for certain things, or they helped you out with certain things. And I'm just hearing right now, you helped them out with certain things. And for some reason, people tend to forget that what you do for them as well. On the other hand, there are people that may have done a little more for you, and they think that your dependency on that, or want you to be dependent on that, thus feeling like you supposed to feel like you can't do without them. And there are people that you walked away from for good reason, because you recognize who they really were. Or, well, who they really were, and or what they became once you started rising up in who God created you to be. Once you start, leveling up, and it became obvious that you was getting ready to step into something great. You was getting ready to step into your purpose. And then, these people got to tripping. And they showed you who they really, really, really are. And or, there go again, they showed you that they don't want to see you level up. Again, these people felt like you were dependent on them because maybe they did some things for you, or just because they were in your life. And they wanted you to stay there where you were. And so when you start, because that's what they're comfortable with. They're not comfortable with you growing and becoming who God called you to be. See, these kind of people want you to just be mediocre many a times, because that's what they are. Even if whatever they're doing in their mind, they feel like they're above you. No, kingdom people, you're not thinking about those kind of things, but they are. And so if you start to do anything that they deem that's beyond them, because you're just being who God called you to be, you going for what is yours. You want more. God put in your heart, and He gave you desires for more. Anyway, it's got a little bit of an attitude. They may not have that. They want to be where they are, stay where they are, but they want you to stay under them, if we're going to call it that, so they can feel above you and comfortable with you. However, you didn't go along with their comfortability. And so anyway, kingdom people, some of these people, because of who they were in your life or the kind of relationship you all had, they just thought that you would need them and just wouldn't be able to function without them. And that always trips me out. Like, how do people think that you can't function without them? I'm always like, are they God? Because the last time I checked, and the next time I check, and really I ain't got to check, I can't function with nobody. I can't function without God. God is the only one I can't function without. As long as I got God, I got everything I need. Now, do I have relationships and friendships and whatever kind of ships with people where I enjoy them, I depend on them for certain things because of the nature of the relationship? Absolutely yes. But if by chance they decide they want to be on some boo-boo, relationship over. Again, I don't need nobody but God. For real, for real. But these people had it in their mind that you needed them and that you wouldn't be able to make it without them. When you severed ties with them, kingdom people, they thought it was just a matter of time before you, what I heard God say to me that really tripped me out was break. They thought it would be a matter of time before you break. Like, breaking what? Come back to them? See, kingdom people, I've had this attitude for years. If I'm done with somebody, if I'm not dealing with certain people for whatever reason, And it's just what it is. Like, it's no going back to that, no coming back to that. Because whatever the reason was to separate from them was severe enough or serious enough to where I don't want no more parts of them. They're not an option. If by chance you need help, if by chance, and let me speak for me, if by chance I need help or there's something going on and I need help with them, they're not an option. There's billions of people in this world. Why do people think you're going to need them? See, the other way around is it's not many of us chosen ones. When people lose us, they ain't going to come across another us. Because that's just not how that go. But on the other hand, we got God. I got God. You got God. We got God. Because we got God, we have everything. See, these people that we've had to let go of, they're not an option. We wouldn't even think of them if we needed something. Or first of all, we go to God. And then God will direct us to where we need to go. If it's a person. You see what I'm saying? But it won't be them. Because I just heard, because they're the devil as far as you concerned. And you're not going to the devil and asking them for no help. Now, everybody that you had to walk away from ain't necessarily a devil. However, they're not good for you. However, as I already stated, they didn't want to see you move on, see you do well. So they're no good for you. So you wouldn't go asking for help from someone who didn't want to see you move in purpose, who don't want to see you. And some of them kind of people, that would be their greatest joy, for you to come back asking them for help. As ridiculous and demonic as that is, there are those who feel just like that. Got to remember, these people are unhealed. They're in darkness. They're narcissistic, which means they get a kick. They get a high off of people needing them, for one. But my God, if you walked away and had to come back to them for some help, that make them feel like Superman, Superwoman. And they not. Ain't nothing super about them, but super dumb. But I digress. I guess. Oh my God. Got me. Anyway, Kingdom people, listen. There are also these ones that you don't even know them like that. And they too. I have really been amazed at people that I don't even know. They be going through extremes trying to make me notice them. They have in their mind that I need them. What they want you to think is that you need them. It be wigging me out, Kingdom people, because I could have sworn I was fine before you. I was doing me. I was doing all right. So why would I need you now? Because you here. And then when you don't express or show any interest in them and what they deem as something valuable they have or are, so much so that they won't think you supposed to chase after them and be needing them, when they realize you don't, when they realize you just fine, you good, in fact you don't want to have nothing to do with them, and they do realize that, they feel away. They feel away. But again, they started off feeling like you need them, and you don't even know them. You don't even know them, but these kind of people are the kind of people that need you to need them. And when people need you to need them, what's really happening, kind of people, is they really need you. And in many instances, they just need your energy. They just need you around. So, because see, the favor is on you. So when you're around people, the favor be on them. Some of your favor flow on them. Some of your oil spill on them. But when you go away, you take the favor, you take your oil, because it's really yours. And I'm not saying that like other people can't have that, but these people that I'm talking about, they don't. They don't. So even when they do certain things for you, it's so they can hang on to your favor and your oil. But again, to give the illusion that you need them, but it's really them paying you or doing for you to keep you around so they can keep getting that oil. They can keep getting that favor. They come from you. Even these people that you don't know, they done peeped you and seen something on you. Now, many of them took your kindness for weakness because you was just chill and peaceful. And they just thought they was getting ready to roll up on you and, you know, get you under their control. So they can feed off of and benefit off of that oil they see, that light they see. They want to prosper off what they want to see on you, but they have to present themselves like you need them. So you can need them or gather, or you even sometimes people feel like you just need them for just to know, to have somebody, especially for those of you that roll solo. Even though you have people, they just feel like you need somebody, and you got God, and you got your somebodies, but not them, you know, them. And so yeah, you don't play them kind of games, and they learn that. They realize you don't need them. But even them, they feel like it's just a matter of time before you give in and need them, because they feel like you can't do it without them. Man, I'm talking right now about the people that you don't even know them. Either way, on both hands, both ends of the spectrum, these folks felt like you needed them. They thought that you couldn't do life without them. In fact, kingdom people, you do better. You do better without them. You're doing life better without them. New ones you had to walk away from, man, your life got so much better when you let all them go. Notice I said all them, because it's quite a few you be having to let go. Life got better. And as you drop them off one by one, their life get better and better and better. And they thinking you can't do without them. It's just a matter of time. The devil a liar. Once you get once you get away from that stuff and realize the change, the difference without them opposed to when you were around them, you don't want none of that back. You keep moving forward. You don't go backwards. This forward movement, this forward motion is where it's at. Things is working out pretty good. And many times, these people that you were dealing with, for the most part, they were trying to keep you down. Some of these people were doing witchcraft on you, speaking death on you, over your life and over your purpose and all that kind of stuff. They were there to keep you down. Them ones in particular that got to tripping once you start rising up in who you are. They were there to keep you in place, especially family. It ain't just family, but family are good for that, because they being kept in place. And see, they're set up in the bloodline to keep everybody right here, especially you, because of who you are. But here's the thing. Because of who you are, they couldn't keep you in place. You had to break up out of there. And again, God showed you who they are. Once you start seeing who they are, who they really are. Because I know for me, when I started rising and it started busting out of me who I am, I remember I used to keep to myself certain mindsets I have, especially around wealth and just leveling up overall. I just kept it to myself because being around certain people, and particularly family, I knew they wasn't there. They wouldn't. I just knew that. So I just knew intuitively don't go there with them. But came to people, do you know, it started leaking out. It started coming out of me because I couldn't hold it no more. And when it started leaking out, they started showing they behind. And if they started showing they behind. I was going to say if they wasn't doing anything physically, they were still doing, I've noticed certain behaviors and the way they would look, when I would say certain things or certain things were happening, but that's actually doing something. So listen, and they thought that you would break without them. You would need them when they was, a lot of times, I want to say they were the ones holding you back, but God allowed it for a time. But because he was still training you during that holding back. So in essence, God was holding you back. Yeah, their goal was to hold you back, but overall they couldn't. See what I'm saying? Because you broke free of them. And yes, did some of them still do their little stuff in the background and in the dark to try to keep you from moving forward? Absolutely, yes. It's their job. They work for Satan. They're the ones in the bloodline that's hired, if you want to call it that, to do just that. To sustain the curse in the bloodline. To keep everyone in whatever the generational curse is in the bloodline. Poverty. Different kind of, what you call it, addictions. You know, different certain mindsets that are not good. All kind of things. But you broke free of all that. And that's why when it started leaking out of you, when it started busting out who you are, that's why they started tripping. Because they realized that you couldn't be contained, even though they still tried to contain you. Heck, you couldn't even contain it yourself. Which is why you had to get on up out of there, so you can go ahead and let it on out and do what you need to do. You just couldn't do that around them. Not that you couldn't have, but the little bit that did come out, you see how they responded. And again, even if nobody wasn't doing anything per se, their attitude shifts towards you, or the way they would look, the things you notice, you knew what that was, and you knew what it meant. Looks tell a whole story. The way people look, it tell a whole story. And if you know anything about body language, yeah. Anyway, Kingdom people, they really just thought that you were not going to make it without them. They thought that you would break at some point. I find that so amazing. Like, who are you? Like, but you know, it's understandable because some people are like that. Many people are codependent. They fearful when they break free and go out on their own. You know, it's a scary world out here. But the thing is, when you got God, I'm hearing, yea, though I walk through the shadow of the valley of death, I shall fear no evil. So yeah, you might go through, you know, some challenging times or some unknown, you know, be in some unknown situations and spaces. But God is right there with you. So that's why you're able to do what you do. Because you know God is with you. And God is everything. If you got 10 people with you, God with you is more, or to be honest, better than having 10 people with you. And I'm not discounting people or having people where that's appropriate. But what I'm saying is sometimes these 10 people can't save you. They can't help you in certain situations. But God can. And while God can use people and people can do certain things, they can only do it to a certain extent. But God, there's no limits on God. God can do anything and everything, all the things, because he's a God. Anyway, Kingdom people, they sure thought that you was gonna break. They thought that you couldn't go on with life without them. They thought that you was gonna break and run back to them. They thought it would be just a matter of time. A matter of time. A matter of a time. Imagine that, Kingdom people.